What's good, family? It's your boy Old Soul J, and I'm back with another video. So today's video, I'm just gonna give you a little story time. I guess you could say this one is gonna be a little bit more for entertainment. Most of my videos are more to inspire you, encourage you, motivate you, or to inform you, to give some knowledge, to give some game, or to just remind you of things that you already know. But today I want to talk about something that I actually have not spoken about in a long time, really. It's been a while. It's been a good while since I've spoken about this, at least a year that I've spoken about this to someone. And it's been more than a year that I've actually spoken about this publicly. As you can see by the title though, today we're going to talk about my experiences with UFOs. Now, my first experience was actually, how do you say, the best one or the most, like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna save that one for last. We're gonna save the best for last, and we're gonna go in that order. So first off, let me start off with this, right? I remember when I was a kid, I'm talking like a toddler, I used to wake up in the middle of the night, and I used to, this is gonna sound crazy, y'all. Like, I used to have this like memory of me meeting with people at night, like when I would be sleeping. I chalked it up to a dream, like as I got older, before I became conscious. Like when I was like a teenager, because I always remembered this. But when I became like a teenager, like I just got a little older, I would look back at it and just chalk it up to be a dream. Even though I always believed that extraterrestrials existed. I always did. But you know, me just being conditioned and, you know, trying to be normal, I just kind of brushed that to the side. But I had this memory when I was a kid. I don't remember like seeing anything or seeing anyone, but I know that when I would go to sleep at night, I used to report to people. Like, yeah, I know this sounds crazy, man, because this is actually something I don't think I've ever, this right here that I'm talking about, the UFO experiences I've spoken to people that I'm close to. I've told people about that. But this right here, I never even spoke about it. So yeah, there's some new info right here. So I would just remember that I would be reporting to someone, but they were either like wiping my memory or something, because I couldn't remember who and where I was. I just remember I would be telling somebody what I was experiencing in the human form. Like I was reporting to someone. Like I was like coming back with information like, okay, this is what this is like and blah, 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 blah. Call me crazy. Whatever. Anyway, this is when I was like a little kid. Like I'm talking about like a toddler. Never told anybody about it though. I would just like brush it off. Now, fast forward years later, well, I started meditating around 2018, but I didn't really wake up for real till like 2020. So, you know, one of the things that I took a huge interest in was extraterrestrials. And when I first woke up, you know, just the whole lore behind it and the possibility of it all and people's experiences and, you know, hearing about ancient civilizations and all this type of things. So, you know, I used to go down that rabbit hole very deeply years ago. One guy that claims he's had multiple experiences. One of the things he would say was, one, if you really want to have that type of experience, you can't just want it sometimes and then like other days you don't even care about it. Like you have to kind of will it. Like you have to vibrate on a certain frequency, one, to be able to handle. That's one thing you would hear a lot too, that extraterrestrials vibrate on such a high frequency that it will bring a lot of trauma and things to the surface for you. And because you don't have the consciousness to perceive that, for most people, they would be afraid and frightened and feel threatened, which is why most extraterrestrials wouldn't even show themselves to most people. But if you look it up, there's so many people that explain their experiences. They say extraterrestrials are very selective of what they show and who they're showing to. And you know, there's so many videos of people seeing UFOs. Some are more legit than others, but there are some real legit ones. I actually recently seen one that was actually very legit. A bunch of people from the hood. Y'all might have seen this. One of y'all might have seen it. Where it was like, she was like, some girl in the video was like, "That's not a light pole," and she was like, "No, that's a light pole right there. That ain't no light pole." Like it was like clear. It was one of those clear videos. But point is, they're real, right? And so that was one of the things that I remember somebody would say that I used to speak about experiences, right? So I was like really deep into it. So I remember there was one day, this was years ago. This wasn't the first experience though. This is probably the least interesting one. So I'm going to tell you this one first. There was one day I got off the train. I used to take the train back and forth to work. You know, I live in New York. So, you know, there's trains everywhere. And I got off the train, and I remember I was thinking about it a lot around this time. Like, I was deep into that. Like, I was like diving down that rabbit hole almost every night. And I was thinking about it. I remember like I was listening to some podcast or something. I was listening to something. And I'm thinking about it, and I used to always look to the sky. Like, I just would look to the sky just in case, right? Now, this time when I got out the station, so literally, unexpectedly, because I used to look up at the sky all the time. I still do, but unexpectedly, I just got off of work, y'all. I'm walking out the train station. This is an outside train station. I'm in a parking lot. This train station, one of the exits, you go through a parking lot. So I'm walking through the parking lot. I'm looking at the sky, and then I see this triangular figure. No jokes, bro. This shit was not that high up in the sky either. It was literally as low as like a top of a house would be. This triangular figure zooms across the sky. It stops. I swear, bro. I swear. The triangular figure, and it had like a bright light on each point. It flies and then it stops. Then it morphs into like this weird ass shape and disappears. No jokes. Now, I couldn't believe what I just saw. I was like, what was that? And you know why I seen it? Deep in my heart, I deeply wanted to. Now, it's not even just a want to. These things are these extraterrestrials, at least I believe, right? I can't say for sure, but I mean, if they're flying in motherfucking ships that change shape and disappear, they're obviously light years ahead of us, advancement wise, right? They wouldn't just show themselves to anyone, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a slow build. Listen, man, I believe in like the next 5 to 10 years they most definitely gonna have like a public disclosure. Oh, before I even continue, crazy story, not too long ago I was in my friend's car, and we drive past this was in Queens. There was this TV screen in front of like this car lot, or like this car dealership, and all it was saying was global exposure or public disclosure 2027. I don't know, but it just kind of shocked me to see that. But it was basically saying that by 2027 is gonna, like, aliens are gonna show themselves. I just found that like shocking to see, because it was just like, it was in front of a car dealership. Like, out of all the places, it was random as hell. What's going on? But anyway, right, I seen that, was mad surprised, but at the same time I already had a deep belief. And because I had the experience I had before this, I wasn't that shocked. But it was just super like out of nowhere. And it happened like this, bro. Like, you couldn't even count to 3 as fast as it happened. It said zoop. Like, I just seen it go, the triangle go zoop, change shape, boom, gone. Right in front of me. Look around, nobody's around me. But anyway, let me move on to the next experience. At the time, I was with one of my ex-girlfriends. So I used to tell her about these experiences. Prior to this, she had never seen nothing like that, so she didn't really know. And I would tell her, this was also around the time, and this actually still happens sometimes. In a distance, when I look out my window in my room, there are these bright ass lights in the sky, right? They're not stars, because let me tell you why. They change colors. People gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm exposing things that I usually keep to myself right now. They change colors. They bright. They blink. This is how you know it. This ain't no helicopter. This ain't no plane. Not only do they change color, like, it'll either be a bright white light or it'll change to an orange light. And not only that, it'll either get brighter. And I recorded this before too. I gotta see if I could find it. Like, the footage, it's something about, like, when you try to record, it's not as good, but it would either be a bright white light or a bright orange light, and the light will be brighter, and then sometimes it will dim lower, brighter, dim lower, and it'll be a bunch of them. Then they'll start to form formations and start moving around and stop moving. Move this way, stop. Move that way, stop. Go up, stop. Change color. Bro, there ain't no damn helicopter, bro. It's obvious. It's clearly not a plane. Planes can't do that. But I don't know what that is. So it's not close enough for you to be able to see whatever, right? We're just gonna, I mean, I know what it is, but someone could argue like, oh, that could be a plane or something. You can't argue it's a plane because planes can't do that. But someone could say, "Oh, that's a helicopter scanning the area or something," whatever, right? Now listen, let me tell you the next experience. So I remember there was a time where I caught it where my ex-girlfriend was in my house, and I told her, I was like, "Yo, look at that. What is that? What do you think that is? That's obviously not a plane. That's obviously not a helicopter. Like, you tell me that's a helicopter." And she's like, "Nah, that it can't be. I don't know what that is though." But she was resonating on a certain consciousness level where she couldn't even fathom that possibility. So she didn't even know what to say. And she was never really that interested in that type of thing. So didn't really dwell on it. But there was one time we was at the park. Right, here's the next experience, bro. Now this, you could say maybe it's not a UFO, but it definitely ain't something that we know about. It definitely ain't something they teach about. I'm laying in the grass with this girl, right? We laying in the grass, we're looking at the sky, and you see these two lights. Helicopters can't do this. They're in the sky. Stars don't move. Planes can't change direction like that. It's these two lights in the sky. They were slowly moving. They came together, made one light. Separated, going all different directions in the sky like this. No jokes. Changing speed, speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, coming together, being one, separating. And I'm looking at that just to know I'm not tripping. Because some people might say, "Oh, you was hallucinating." I'm laying next to my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time. I look at her, I'm like, "Do you see that?" She's like, "Yeah." She just wouldn't know what to say because it's just like, "What is that?" And I'll be like, that's what I said to her. I was like, "What is that?" She's like, "I don't know." I'm like that can't be a helicopter. That can't be a plane. Like, she literally would just be speechless. Like, she'd be like, "Yeah," but she would have the type of energy more of like, "I don't know what that is, but hey, what we gonna do about it?" Some people have that type of energy. Like, they just like, "Okay, yeah, maybe, but what am I gonna do with that?" You know what I mean? So anyway, now let me tell you the big experience. So this is how I know it's something that they're not telling us. I've seen it with my own eyes, bro. Now let me tell you about the last experience. This is the craziest one by far. Now this is back when I used to smoke weed, man. And this was also still around the same time. All these events were around the same time. This was when I was deep heavy into the extraterrestrial stuff. Like, I used to meditate on it. I used to like say it out in the world, like, "Yo, I want to see, like, I want to," you know what I mean? I put that intention in the world. Like, your mind is all. You could really do anything. And I truly believe that I seen these things because I willed it. Like, I really wanted to at the time. And I feel like it could have went further if I tried harder and I kept going down that path. But then I started to realize, like, I needed to focus on myself. But anyway, there was one night. This is back when I used to smoke weed. And before anybody says, "Oh, you must have got laced with something," I didn't even get to start smoking yet. I went into my backyard one night. And this was after I already was doing some deep spiritual practices that day. And I was going to go to the backyard to smoke weed. I would either roll up in my room, inside, in the house, or I would roll up outside. Because sometimes I wouldn't want that smell in my room. It was nice out, whatever. So I went in the back. I was rolling up. Then all of a sudden, while I'm rolling up, I start to see this projection, this light on the floor coming from above me. Now, the projection, it was showing me something that you've all seen before, and I'm not going to say what it was. And like, if you really, really deeply want to, nah, I'm not ready to share that. But it was showing me something on the floor. So I'm sitting there with the roll up in my hand as I'm rolling up, and I'm staring at this thing, and my heart dropped. Yo, bro. My eyes are watering, like, just thinking about this experience, my eyes are watering, bro. Like, this is how, like I'm about to, like, I'm choking on my words, bro. But I'm staring at this light. And, you know, common sense tells you, I could tell it's like something's projecting this light, this image that I'm seeing on the floor. And common sense tells you something's above you projecting this image. So at first I was scared to look up. Honestly speaking, I can't recall a time where I was more afraid in my life. And this is what they talk about a lot of times too. Is like, this is why an extraterrestrial isn't gonna just pop up to you, because we kill each other in this world. They probably look at us like savages. You know what I mean? So anyway, oh man, I can't even get it out. So I stood up because I was sitting on a bench. I stood up. I slowly walk. Like, in my mind, I'm like, all right, I'm about to go inside. But I wanted to look. I was scared to look, but I wanted to look. So before I go inside, I look up. And what I saw was, okay, one, it was so big and close. What it looked like was like the bottom of an enormous ship. I'm talking about bigger than my house, like enormous. Like, it took up my whole view of the sky when I looked up. Lights were like lined up, like evenly, right above me. Like, literally, I'm talking about like right above my crib, like right above the house. Like, if it was any lower, it would be on top of the house, like right above it. It almost it for me, it felt like it revealed itself to me. Like, I kind of felt like it been there, or like I honestly believe there'd be UFOs in the sky and they be cloaking themselves. Like, a UFO could be right on top of you and you won't even know. But I felt like it revealed itself to me, and that was the most clear I've ever seen it. Like, I never seen it that clear ever again. And I think my reaction had a lot to do with that. I could have even subconsciously like blocked it off. Like, my subconscious mind is like, nope, I'm not letting him see that again, at least for now, right? Because this is how I reacted. I seen that, I started panicking. Even though I don't believe like I was in any danger. It's one thing to say what you would do, and then how you react when you're actually in a situation. I started panicking. I looked, and I only looked up for like a second, bro. I looked up and I said, oh, no. You ever seen like on a TV show or like a cartoon where a person start pacing like they don't even know what to do? Like, cause it's like, bro, it's right on top of my, like, I go, like, where do I go? I'm home. I'm in my backyard. Like, yeah, obviously he's like, go inside, but I was like, this is literally me. I was like, nah, no. I literally threw the roll up. Like, I think I just was like almost, like, I was like in the middle of rolling up. Like, I was just like about to be done. Like, I think I was like at the part where you lick the edge and seal it. Like, I didn't even seal it yet. I tossed it in the bushes. That's how you know I was shook. At that time, I was a smoker. Like, I was a heavy smoker. So like, I didn't even care for it. My mind said, I tossed it. I went inside. And I stayed up the rest of the night just sitting in my room scared. Scared. I was scared all the way to the next morning. And that's because I just wasn't ready to see that. Because as much as I may believe, like, cause look, extraterrestrials are obviously real. The government, look, I should have said this in the beginning of the video, but the government has outright, look it up. They literally admitted, they literally said that UFOs are real. They literally said that, like, there's Navy officials talking about their experiences seeing it. There's literally government officials talking about how it's real. It's been real. Like, it's bro. There's too many people done seen it, bro. I seen it. The government already official. Look this up. They already said it's real. I even told my uncle about one of these experiences. Not the last one I just told. But I told my uncle about one of these experiences. He not even into all that stuff. But he told me when he was a kid, he seen one too. And he explained his experience, which was similar to some, like, bro. This ain't a game. This ain't a joke. This ain't make believe play. This shit is real. And damn, I forgot what I was about to say though. Oh yeah, but no matter what I believe, even knowing that extraterrestrials exist, no matter what makes sense to me as into not thinking that. Because look, the same way how there's good people and there's bad people, I definitely believe there's good extraterrestrials and there's bad ones. Like in every race, I believe that's just what it is. Some people resonate more on a darker side and some people are more on a lighter side. So when shit comes to your face, like when shit get real, it's almost like you don't know how you're gonna react. Because even though I obviously wasn't threatened because nothing happened to me, or I obviously wasn't in danger because nothing happened to me, you don't know you don't know what to expect. You're not prepared for these type of things. And this is why they can't just reveal themselves to anyone. There has to be a slow process. You can't just rip a human's reality away from them. And this is why I also am careful about how I want to wake people up. Like, to be real with y'all, it's so real that I wanted to show, if y'all see on my channel, I got a video talking about how I'm exposing the story of Jesus. I have family members who still believe in Jesus, and there was a time where I wanted, like when I first made the video, I wanted to show them that, but I don't even want to show them anymore. Because let's say I do get them to wake up to certain things, it's not always a good thing to snatch a person's reality from them when they're not ready for it. And yeah, those are my main experiences with UFOs. You know, UFO means unidentified object, right? I think that's what it means. Something like that. But y'all know what I'm saying, man. These things is real, bro. But in the meantime, you know, this was just for a little entertainment purposes. The reason why I don't really speak about these things, or I'm not really all like, is because like my videos are meant to help you on your path and on your journey. And the best way to help yourself is to focus on yourself and focus on your growth. And the extraterrestrial stuff is cool and it's fun to talk about and to hear about and learn about sometimes, but always remember what your main focus should be. But that's all I gotta say for today, y'all. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I love y'all.